your iPad.
Okay, on a couple items, we're working with FEMA in the state of Michigan, Variant Two, and working with FEMA reps on the cost of the L1 center, and have submitted that in. I think we have a little bit, a couple more adjustments in that area. We made really good progress on the reimbursements of that portion. So that cover overtime, any OEM for the events, and also some equipment costs that we could go back through that, which is a pretty good benefit there on the equipment that was used during response and for assessments also throughout the county. In the areas of debris management, we continue to work with FEMA and the states. We're at the process of developing bid proposals for the debris processing. So right now we have multiple sites in the county where we have vegetative debris that's on site. We're developing a bid packet that meets the federal standards for bid and contract documents, trying to assess whether we'll need a consultant, road commission's working with a consultant on these packages also, whether we'll go that route to have them review our information or not. We haven't made that determination. Reading the federal documents, I believe we'll also have to do an RFP for engineering, mainly to monitor the sites for the processing so we can make sure the quantities that are processed meet the bid pack itself. Our rules allow staff to basically enter into agreements with engineers, architects, or actually attorneys without a bid process, but the federal process requires that. So we're trying to get guidance, hopefully, from the states on that particular issue. I think we'll probably lean to the conservative side of the processing this and probably put an RFP out, saying RFP those requests for bids go out for the processing. Also, we'll put in a request to the state of Michigan, request FEMA extend our guideline or our timing goes at least till July of next year for processing, and kind of move forward from there. So we were told the state of Michigan has to request those, but I don't believe we're out of order with anyone else through for trying to get a process timeline of weather coming up on us. We need as much time as we can to process that. So that's where we stand today for the FEMA. I don't know if Sewer Jeremy has anything else they want to add there. The state and local cyber security grants, we did receive an award of 84,000. So we applied for this. It seems like a year ago, but it might not have been that long. The state had, again, through emergency management, allow communities to apply for cybersecurity grants. Our grants would go to two-factor authentication for our systems. Right now, we do have partial two-factor on basically email exchange. This will allow us to move forward. And we'll have to have quite a bit of education here. Entering our systems will go into two-factor authentication. So whether we have keys for our computers or codes that hook to phones or other devices to actually log in. So people are most familiar with that. Usually in your banking systems, or if you're paying bills online, you'll get the two-factor authentication from the bank or whatever it may be before you can access your account. The other is moving to from a .net to a .gov under federal standard. .gov guidelines give the highest cyber protection to the municipality. So that'll be undertaken in moving our website, update our website, but then we have to also transfer all our email accounts over to .gov. So that's going to be quite a bit of work. Again, a little bit of education. I believe those two will be tied together for a number of years. If someone sends to a .net, we'll still be able to have access to it. But that's beginning that migration. So that'll go out in a request for proposals for web companies to develop a webpage. Based on the last time we did this, we'll see proposals all over the monetary spectrum there, from more affordable to communities that are 5 times our size or larger. There's a lot of national companies now that handle web pages for governmental units, and there's a lot of bells and whistles in their system that are useful, but sometimes those can be too much for a municipality our size to utilize. So we need quite a bit of evaluation on that project over this process. And although we have 84,000 right now, until we put the bids out for the web page development and select that, we won't know the true cost of that until that comes in. Two-factor authentication is pretty consistent figures on those costs, but web pages could be large variance between what you're going to see in the proposal. Highlighted a couple projects after I answer any questions.
Any question? Comment? Let's move down to committee reports. That can be all handled on one.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, board appointments procedure committee met this morning. We have some recommendation. We gotta do these one at a time.
I think we can do them together.
Well, I have before you the recommendations to report Dustin Vanilla to the Airport Authority, Karen Daniel to the Department of Health and Human Services, Matthew Keene to the NLEA, and Corey Cooper to the Opioid Settlement Steering Committee. And I would make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Any question? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont.
Yes.
Thank you. That's carried 6-0-1. The renewable ready communities, that was kind of mentioned here in your report. You want to hold that or close it?
So the item we're taking from the table, from it's a couple back there. Staff was able to do some research on the program. The state made an initial appropriation for renewable energy projects in the state of Michigan, where communities could apply. They had a renewable energy project that was approved by their planning commission for community for hosting that. Regarding review of that, those funds have been appropriated, so the staff is not pursuing at this time any type of grant or application on that program. The funding has been basically allocated to projects. We will not pursue.
So motion.
Don't need any motion to
Just to,
for just reporting that for application.
New business, senior millage agreement, Cheboygan Council on Aging and Wawadam Area Senior Citizens. That's 122. I hope you approve, committee approved.
Yep, these are the senior agreements that we have after the recommendation from the committee to the board for appropriation. We have the Cheboygan Council of Aging, amount of $610,000, and the Wawadam Senior Center, $77,136.50. Their recommendation is to approve the agreement with both agencies and authorize the chair to sign.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
I'll support.
Thank you, Tom. Moved and supported. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yeah.
Commissioner Sangster.
Yes.
Thank you, board carried 6-0-1.
I just one comment. They're still pretty happy, right? I know years ago a little bit, there was some conversation about their Wawadam, Jeff's not here to talk about it. They feel they're taken care of enough.
Yeah,
I know at one point they were, because that's in Tennant County.
I was a little late for that meeting, so there was good discussion before I got there.
Oh, okay. As long as everybody seems that they,
Yeah.
because It's good.
Public.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question. So we're down to the sale proceed.
I hope so.
Who said that? Oh, well, I think.
Good morning,
Treasure.
Chairman Wallace.
Madam Treasurer.
Bless. Good morning, everyone. I have today the annual sale proceeds report. It's on page 130 of your iPad, if you could go to that.
129.
Column one reflects 25 parcels that were sold in the year of 2023, and they were from the foreclosure of the 2020 taxes. Column two is the sum of the minimum bids, and that's what makes all the back taxes whole. That amounts $46,950. Columns 3, 4, and 5 all have zeros, and that's based on no parcels being sold to the local units, or the county, or the state. So columns 6 and 7 remain the same as 1 and 2 because of the no local unit sales. Column 8 is the total collection from the auction, which was $311,450. Column 9, minimum bids, and this also includes the current summer taxes of 2023, $53,656.03. Column 10 is the total amount paid for all 25 parcels. And then column 11 is the total amount of claims paid out. And that was for just one parcel. And that was actually a claim from the state of Michigan for someone's income tax. Column 12, remaining net sale proceeds, $296,587.50. So this brings the total being held in the foreclosure fund to over 1.3 million. My request today is to accept this as submitted and send to Treasury. If there are any questions on the
What are we sending in treasury, just a report?
report, yes. No money.
Mr. Chairman, I need to accept the report in the Suffolk County Treasurer's
Support. Thank you. Support. Madam Clerk.
This is, looking at the 2016 to 2023 sale market, I mean, certainly a huge difference from year to year there. Is there anything that points at an indicator? I mean, it was 360 in 2016 and only 51,000 in 2020, but 296,000. Does that indicate anything?
I'm sure it's the amount of parcels, and I can include that on future reports.
Well, I did. It's interesting data. I don't know what it means. There's bad year, good year. What was the indicator of that year that caused that?
That number low. You get a lot of people on payment plans.
Good.
You get a lot of people assisting, but there's still a tax program out there now. We want that number low.
I think that's an important comment from the county treasurer and not in the business taking.
I'd be interested in.
I have a question, sure. Is this affected with the lawsuit discussed?
For the claims?
Yes.
Claims are for 2020 and prior.
So this would not be affected by that lawsuit.
Not right now.
Oh,
There could be future lawsuits,
Okay.
of course, but not right now.
The county this could ask putting rather than a fund.
All of our surplus is in the foreclosure fund.
Okay. So
Yes. Yes, since 2018, we have not transferred any money to the general.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Clerk.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes. Okay, 6:09.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby. Recycling truck purchase, 132 on your iPad.
The 2025 budget included $206,906 for estimate for a new recycling truck, about $145,000 for the truck and about $61,000 for the hoist. Staff has received a quote from Michigan Kenworth and Gaylord through Sourcewell, which is a cooperative purchasing program similar to MIBL, where we don't have to go out for formal bid because the bidding's already been done. The quote is for a 2026 Kenworth T480 chassis only the chassis, and the amount of $149,063. Request for quotes for the hoist will be forthcoming, and it looks like that is also probably through Sourcewell, so we're in the process of working on that, but wanted to get the truck ordered and started. This will replace the 2012 Freightliner truck. The county also has a 2020 Kenworth recycling truck. The recommendation is to approve the quote from Michigan Kenworth LLC and Gaylord with Sourcewell pricing for a 2026 Kenworth T480 chassis in the amount of $149,063.
Pleasure, board.
I'll make the motion, Chair.
Anything else support? Any further discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes,
Commissioner Newman.
Yes.
thank you. That's carried 6:01. We're down to D, Cheboygan Area High School and Compass Academy. 134.
It's an agreement that we do every year, for the teacher that, is out of Compass Academy. The recommendation is to approve the Compass Academy and Cheboygan Area Schools Agreement and authorize the chairperson to sign any forthcoming agreements upon the review of the 25-26 agreement. Questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agreement between the Compass Academy and Union's. I'll second that.
This is where everybody signs it. Court sign it, no, everybody. That's it. Dual employer. We have motion and support. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes.
We're down to LEM, Jeremy. Penny.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
This is I want to present to you the LEMP, which is the Local Emergency Management Program, previously known as the Emergency Management Program, that we're all familiar with the past few years. They've made a name change. This is FEMA provides funds to EMHSD and local emergency management programs, but is contingent on the amount received from FEMA. Local emergency managers and finance submit a local annual budget and work agreement quarterly reports to EMHSD. The fiscal year 2026 LEMP work agreement request would be to continue funding for the local emergency management. We recommend this board to make a motion to accept the fiscal year 2026 LMP, and authorize the board chair and myself to sign that work agreement.
So, Chair.
Sorry. Yes. Any further thought or question? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster.
Yes.
Okay, Terry, thanks.
Mr. Comment, thank you, Chair, if I may.
Sure.
Just stellar work, keep it up.
Yeah.
Strategy.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Family court contract for home-based counseling. the Thrive contract, that's 150.
This is a contract, through, Circuit Court Family Division, looking at renewing, a contract with Thrive Coaching and Counseling. This program is funded through the Burn Grant, and if, there's additional funding needed, it can come through the Child Care Fund. If needed, the motion is to approve the renewal of the contract with Thrive Coaching and Counseling.
Joe make that.
Word,
I'll support.
thanks, Mike. Who is the, Thrive Coaching and Counseling?
I don't remember her name, but they changed her a year or so ago, and they've been really happy with the services that they provided. She works one-on-one with the kids as needed, and from what I'm understanding, it's really helpful.
That's good input, thank you. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster.
Yes.
Thank you, Warden. That's carried 6-0. We're down to apparently problems with the register of deeds. Oh no, I'm sorry. Down to here.
The clerk is requesting, okay. Michigan Electronic Recording Commission adopted the Michigan e-recording standards effective January 1, 2014. In Michigan, various real estate documents such as deeds, land contracts, and assignments can be e-recorded, which saves the registry of deeds time and money while supplying superior service to client and customers. The clerk is requesting, or the register of deeds is requesting, to approve the Cheboygan County Clerk Register of Deeds to apply for the MERC grant, accept the grant awarded, and authorize any necessary budget adjustments.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make that motion.
Thank you, Steve. Support. Right, support. Makes it easier for somebody to own your house.
That was gonna be my.
Or mortgage it out from under you, just like I see on TV. Never done. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace.
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster.
Yes.
Commissioner Newman.
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes.
Okay, we're down to H. It was added. 10H. The Chateau at Black Mountain Invoice.
Apologize, I didn't make the original agenda. I got the invoice 5 minutes after the email went out with the agenda. And I didn't feel that since this is from August, we should make the Chateau wait till October. So the request is a $2,000 invoice for lodging during the fair for the concert related, and that Commissioner Sangster will need to abstain from the vote. So the request is to approve the invoice totaling $2,000 to Chateau and Black Mountain. That's right.
Chairman, I would make that motion.
Supporting. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace.
Yes.
Commissioner Newman.
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster.
Abstain.
Commissioner Claremont.
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carried 5-1 and 1. Now there another month.
So they're very happy with the price.
You got a special the price team.
I don't have a choice.
I'm gonna try to put it over there yet. Okay, we're down to board matters for discussion. Where are we at, folks?
Mr. Chair, just a comment or discussion I'd like to move forward in the future and talk to Administrator Lawson, talking about this. I think that we should be proactive on property of petition permit. We should get a couple of just start getting a background, getting the road map, the history of how we're there. My concern is that we end up, we get that like both.
I sure wouldn't want the board to get that for back taxes.
Well, no, and that's exactly why I think we need to learn as much as we can to move forward and maybe make sure that we're ready to. We've already done the, and I know the city's asked for some help. you know, I just think that we should be having a little stronger conversation and at least, you know, putting down some kind of a alternative. This happens, we're gonna go this, you know, that would be a terrible thing for us to, you know,
That's a very real possibility. Oh, yeah, it's,
so I just think that we learn as what we can, if that's being okay with myself, or, you know, this would like to talk since it's in my district, if we can talk with the administrator, maybe meet with, that seems appropriate by the board to start that, I guess, and ask me to do that.
anybody else, anything, board matters for discussion?
Mr. Chair. Yep. We want to discuss, District Health Department number 4. With the, some huge transactions that have happened recently. The board decided to terminate the contract, with DHD2. Because if you don't know, the two combine and get the health officer and other employees from that. Some recent event that came about and found out that we lost literally over $1 million in state and federal funding, because of lack of appropriate action by the health officer. It should have been back up to the finance officer. They've already replaced the finance. So they tried to into the weeds or peel the onion back, however you want to put it. They found out that the health officer was also notified of these changes and failed to take any action. So we decided that at our last meeting there to terminate the contract. It was rather simple. We didn't have a contract directly with the health officer. We had our contract with District Health number 2, who employs that person. We ended that. I just want to make comments here. Thank the Jeff Lawson for all his help with that, because I did fall back on his reassurance of, you know, that we were doing things properly. So
number 2 then cancel her?
number 2, so far from what we're hearing, they're satisfied with her. But then again, some of the funding that we're now investigating because of grants and things, the health officer there to the finance person that she was solely responsible for, you know, divvying up where these grants went. We're still investigating that, and so it's a work in progress. Right now, we're advertising for a new health officer and some other programs that we share with DHD2 will also be trained, because the percentage, maybe 50% say, and we're only getting 30% of the services from that. And so all this from the investigation started there with our current chairman, and very wherewithal on those issues, brought it back to the board, and last meeting we decided to terminate that contract.
So you severed on a basis of malfeasance or malfeasance, or not?
Pretty much, it's the attorney indicated that really didn't need to specify. And in some ways, it was better that we didn't do that, but I do have a copy of the letter that they did send to DHD2, which spelled out the fact of for inadequacies issues, and that's why we terminated the contract.
And she was at will.
Yeah. The contract clearly allowed us to do that without calling it.
Yeah, it was a termination of a service agreement with DHD2, not specifically with
Not her
contract. Yeah. So that's a contract, a service contract with another agency.
I see. So you're better just to pick up to not personnel.
Pardon me?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting news. That problem still goes on.
Continue.
It's been going on for 30 years.
Now the board itself is looking at for fact that we can afford that, have their own health officer rather than most of them. I don't know if Jeff, you remind me about Northwest there. They share with
Antrim, or that's all part of that, or they share services.
Yeah, from Charlevoix to counties. Grand Rapids also in their own.
They're in their own, yeah, rather than like we share with two, which like Omaha, and kind of goes down on the southern east side of the
Like
state.
the northeast, they're going south.
And
Huh?
so that's,
Well, that's, at one time they couldn't put the health officer, so they had to beg on people.
Dr. Myerson there, he's, our health, officer, but the doctor that, he's like, the group that we're with, and so he was very instrumental in helping us, put an application together, put it out to, the different vetting. Seems to be able to see.
And after this occurred,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
We perhaps talk about the increase in fees that we're gonna see, or
well, that would be the time for that, because I don't know it was budget time. I guess I refer to Jeff because he did ask for 10%.
10% increase in approximately $30,000 on top of the approximate 300 that we currently pay.
And the reason for that is because of the fact that they allowed money to go back to the state, and because they dropped the ball with it. That's to the point of 1.2 million.
And I might add that that led to the bare bones to get through and get us over something. It proves that there's something else I guess I'd like to address at this point. It's a change, and change usually brings opportunities with it. And I guess I would like us to at least consider, I recognize it's probably cost prohibitive, I recognize it's unusual. Whether a single county, although I believe Mackinac County or York does have their own health department. I know it normally doesn't line up financially and make sense, but I'm wondering if we should task staff to look in. I mean, some of the questions that come to my mind is we do restaurant inspections, as an example. There's board members in District 4 who aren't presented to make things and do research. How many days per week does District 4 have an employee in Cheboygan County performing that function? Another function would be wells and septics, environmental, if you will. How often do you have someone in Cheboygan County from District 4 providing those services for us? Literally, the nursing program, how often do you have a vet nurse here? Certainly there are valuable service and care for them through the health department. It'd be easy to just move forward and say, well, it's not cost effective to do that, but I think perhaps the board ought to consider asking staff to at least give us some numbers so we know what we're talking about, a rough estimate of what it would cost to bring that back in-house and self-perform that function. I recognize that we do not want to abandon the other three counties and leave them in a tough spot, but at the same time, as Commissioner Claremont pointed out earlier in the day, we have seen a tremendous success when we left the consortium and came and took emergency management in the house. Not only is it increased the level of service that we receive, but we've done it at much lower cost. So I guess I'd like the board to consider that, asking staff, not a detail, down to the dollar kind of investigate what it would cost to bring that program back in-house. We also, of course, do need to look at the effectiveness of the other three counties. I see it as District 4, then something like that can't happen overnight anyway. That's taking a long time to get in place. But I do see this as an opportunity for District 4, for us there on that board to look at all of our costs and look for areas that we might save on. There's some redundancies within the program. Some of the programs may provide little value to us. So I think it's a good opportunity for that board, and I'm sure it's the commissioner, you and myself, to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. But I would like to see us at least come to an understanding of the approximate cost, bring that service back.
That I didn't do that periodically.
It's just good business practice to do that. Opportunity for change necessary, but if it is, then it's some time to address. Excellent idea. When we first looked at OEM, the change cost of building, and that was a choice. So I think, you know, it's not an atmosphere, it's saying, I think in deep dive into it, look at this stuff, you know.
Another comment I have to that is the other counties that are in DHD four are very involved.
Yes.
You know, and
Mount Morency and
Mount
Rescue.
yeah.
If they came back and looked and there was benefit cost, and I think we put in that back. Very neighbor, which probably really young now. Sorry, I'm not going to take that. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
I have nothing more. Oh, no, there's more.
Just on timing there, of course, that's gonna take quite a bit of research to do. We have an official budget request from the health department, not sure exactly the impact of trying to recruit another health officer. But I think moving forward, we'll have to do analysis of their finances right now, identify which division areas cover what services, and get into the weeds a little bit more than we have had in the past as far as the division we've got from them. Well, for timing here, I think it's probably making an appropriation this year. But there's also notification, so we do really did enough analysis to make sure we're covering all the bases in that. So, put in plain English, we'll make a recommendation for appropriation this year. For carry that analysis through, especially based on how the budget may change, and you know, we are the largest contract holder under this arrangement. So it does make sense for us to go through and do that comparable to know exactly what you're seeing.
I recognize that we take a considerable amount of time and effort, and then deliberation on our part as to whether we want to do this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing it up. Anything else on the come up for it?
I got a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Last week, Northern Lakes Economic Alliance approved their next fiscal year budget, which is October 1 to September 30, 2025, 2026. For $798,000 is their budget. Of that, $324,000 comes from the 4 counties that participate with Northern Lakes Economic Alliance.
All right, so what's up to the 911 money?
Right. So this county has a 1-year contract, which I believe will expire at the end of December, somewhere in that.
Yeah, we have a new contract request to come to the board here. Okay, next few meetings. But it's they're requested back to a 3-year arrangement versus the 1-year arrangement.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, that was my point. That's coming up and soon. Prepared for that.
Okay, Jeff will keep us on the line on that one. Citizen comments, anybody would like to address the board?
Brad on the farm doing this. So information, just real quick, wanted to give you guys a fall update. On our projects, Polish line, is almost complete end to end now. There's just a very small section left. Raysville Road, obviously, driven Raysville Road, our sheriff probably not real happy with it because he's got a racetrack out there now. But Raysville Road came out really nice. It's done to the highway now. South Black River Road was completed last week. They're doing the shoulder gravel on Black River Road. First part of October is South Black River Road, They're gonna pick up where they left off at Township Line, go north to the UAW, and then they're gonna turn and go east to the county line. One thing I wanted to point out is the majority of our road projects this year, the bids were actually awarded to G.F. Wilkinson and Son. So the money came from a local millage, passed through the county road commission and is going back to the local county, therefore going back into the local economy. So, that's a big deal when we're hiring local people to do local roads. The millings from Riggsville Road, most all of them went on Extension Road, which helps out the Extension Road quite a bit. That's the blacktop millings that we took off Riggsville Road. We put that back down on the Extension Road. Got gravel contracts with almost every township to put down gravel within the townships. So working on and improving the back roads, the gravel roads and so on. And we're continuing cleanup from the ice storm. The estimate that we had for FEMA originally was a little over $8 million to basically take back the right of way line to right of way line. Obviously, we figure in-house we can do that for a fraction of that cost. So we're working on that, but we are looking, if anyone knows anybody, we're looking for temporary hires for the winter. We're also looking for a few term hires while we go through and support and push this cleanup project. We did receive delivery of 3 new plow trucks to not necessarily retire, but hopefully expand the fleet. So we've got a couple extras. We ran into last winter when a truck went down, we didn't get a truck back in its place. So we were pulling from here and pulling from there to cover. And so with these 3 new trucks, we're hoping that it'll offset that a little bit. And we've replaced a couple of pickup trucks, and just to the point that they were, the frames were ready to give out, so it was time to take them off the road for safety concerns. But just a quick update from the roads. The biggest thing I wanted to point out is that the contract's going back to G.F. Wilkinson. You've got local millage money that's passing through the road commission. We're fixing our roads, and we're putting the money right directly back to the local contractor with local employees and our local economy. So
They did the sub work on 27th, and then they did that.
they've been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a good road now.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of work. They did pick up some work in Emmett County as well this year. So growing leaps and bounds.
Thanks, Brad.
Sure, but,
I can't get away.
yeah, I think we want to, go ahead. I'll go first, thank you. Yeah, that was very encouraging, to hear that you're able to use local to use with contracting. Just one question, with our board here, we offer a 5% local.
Currently.
Yeah, we currently are able to accept these at 5% above the lowest bid from a local contractor to accomplish exactly what you've done here. Do you have that in your charter as well? And perhaps you ought to consider that. I'm sure Mr. Lawson can share you with everybody.
Yeah, we have a hard time with that with our roads, with the way that our funding works.
Okay.
With the way that we get our funding and so on, the restrictions that are on our funding. We have explored it, but we do have a hard time with it just because of the way that our funding comes in and the restrictions. We have a lot of restrictions on how we can spend our funding. So
I'm glad to hear you at least looked at that.
yeah. The impressive part comes that we've got a local contractor that is competitive with companies that are nationwide. We've got companies here locally that are nationwide, and you've got a local, he's a big contractor locally, but in the grand scheme of things, he's just a tiny dot on the map, and he's competitive with those big companies. One more thing I'd like to say is, during this ice storm, E.F. Wilkinson, Barrow Brothers and Providence, they really stepped up and helped when it wasn't necessary. And all three of them have said, you know, they said, we're not worried about it. When you can catch us, catch us. When you can make us whole, make us whole. And if you can't, it is what it is. It's our community. And that's a lot to be said for local contractors just to step up and make it happen. That being said, all three of those local contractors, as of yet, have not been made whole. Primarily because there's no funds to do it yet. You know, they're holding a significant amount out there. We've got the invoices, we've got them set, but you gotta have the cash to pay them. And until we get some reimbursement from our state government or from the feds, it's not there, but we got three contractors that have really stepped up in the community.
Some reasons they've sitting on money, right?
A lot of it. Anything else?
Well, and if I can add to that, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Mr. Chairman, you know, and Commissioner Sangster was here a couple times too. But them contractors that Brad mentioned helped us out with the sheriff's department tremendously during the ice storm. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't have got to half the houses that we got calls at. They sank trees out and opened roads for us when the road commission couldn't. So, and they told us the same thing. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do. We don't know if we'll get paid. We don't care if we get paid. We want to help, and they did. They helped. They helped tremendously. Mr. Lawson called me one day during the ice storm, and there was a big catastrophe about the brook and their generator running out of fuel. And it was before we got our fuel source, and that's 80 people that we have to try and move. And I can't get fuel. Where do I get fuel at? I got it from Revitic. I went and saw Chucky and said, hey, you got a transfer tank in your truck. I need a couple 100 gallons of fuel like right now, or I'm gonna have a problem. Yep, no problem. Take it. Give me a bill. Well, I'm not worried about it. I spell that much in the summer. Do what you got to do. So they all stepped up and tremendously. So I just wanted
It's huge.
to reaffirm what Brad said. It made a huge difference.
To have those community partners is imperative. So.
Mr. Chairman, would it be appropriate to bring those folks in and recognize them? We may not be able to assure that they're gonna get paid, but we can at least express to them.
We can see if they can get paid.
Yeah, well, we should try to get them paid.
Yeah.
But we should, I think, recognize them publicly and show appreciation. It says a lot about them.
I'd recommend trying to do it like maybe in February or
Right.
March.
Yeah,
When they're
yeah,
snowing. But like, you're gonna have a hard time getting shreds coming.
Right. But I think we did do a resolution, right? Thanking them to do it publicly in a different time. But my comments to Brad was I appreciate you coming and updating this board, the County Road Commission. And my other comment was about E.F. Wilkinson and Fred, the job they did on Black River Road there north of Alberta. That was really nice, and they did it in a very timely manner.
It is very timely manner, and we did it as cost effective as we could. It basically we milled 4 feet out on each side of the road. We left the center blacktop, and then came back, laid a little blacktop on the sides, and then capped the whole road. In doing that, it saved significant costs.
No, it really turned out nice. I was happy to see that. Both these contractor doing a local contract.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, man.
Board member comments. We've already talked about. Hearing none, let's go into a closed session.